effective technical communication. Today we are going to discuss about organizational strategies from module 1. Strategy and its importance. Now let's see what organizational strategy means and what the importance of it is. Strategy is at the heart of any business, and as the slide tells us, organizational strategies sum up all the actions that you intend to take in order to achieve your long-term goals. So, together, these actions make up a company's strategic plan. These plans may take at least a year to complete. The slide further reads, it is the strategy that allows one business to rise above others to become successful. A good and functional strategy involves long-term planning for the general course of the business and is also related to the day-to-day operations and activities. Now here it means that there is a lot of competition in the market and numerous business houses may be working in the same sector. In such a scenario, it is the strategy that allows one business to rise above others to become successful. Now, great ideas, great products are likely to face defeat without a proper strategy. That's why a good and functional strategy is required. And such a good and functional strategy involves long-term planning for the general course of the business and is also related to the day-to-day operations and activities. Next, we are going to discuss the different features of organizational strategies. The first and the most important feature of any organizational strategy is that it is a roadmap to the organization's success. As the first point in the slide reads, organizational strategy guides the organization on the way to achieving its objectives. The strategy starts with knowing where the organization stands and where it wants to be. So, as the first step for formulating the company's policies, the visions, the values and mission of the company are framed or maybe revisited. It covers up everything from the identity of the company to the reason for its existence. The next feature reads, there is a freedom of choice in adopting a particular strategy. So it may depend on the current position of the business or the expected position and the availability of resources. And there may be various other reasons, but yes, you are free to adopt your own particular strategy. Next feature reads that although the goals and objectives of the organization remain the same, the strategies may keep changing with the progress of time and they will have to be revised as per the requirement. So you must understand that strategies are dynamic in nature. What works for one company may not work well for the other. Similarly, what works well in the beginning may not exhibit the same results later in time. So the competitors may counter some of these strategies and they may need revision. Therefore, it is mandatory to keep reviewing these strategies and incorporate changes in them when required. The next feature is a very simple one. Strategy we know is for a long term. So generally the results of a strategy show up after at least an year. Therefore, strategy is planned for at least a year. Companies ideally choose 3 to 5 year strategic plans over a 20-year plan for the want of a greater certainty. But a yearly plan is good for any kind of good strategies. Let's now have a look at the different types of organizational strategies. The need for a particular organizational strategy is that if the company has to achieve success and take itself to the top in the market, there should be a proper strategy and it should be in place. Throughout history, there have been strategic thinkers who have emerged out as successful businessmen and women. So basically, there are 3 types of organizational strategies: the corporate strategies, the business strategies, and the functional strategies, as you can see in the slides. Now, in the further few slides, we will have a closer look at these 3 types of strategies. Let's now see how corporate strategy works. So it is being said that it is the strategy that determines what business a company is in, should be in, or wants to be in, and what it wants to do with that business. And what it means to say is that corporate strategy is hierarchically the highest strategic plan of the organization, which defines the corporate goals and the direction which will be achieved by strategic management. Now, further, it is being said that this strategy includes and covers the vision, mission, the product portfolio, the company resources, and the organization model. So, the corporate strategy depends on the outcome of the analysis of the strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges, and also influences how a company creates value. Further moving, there are three types of corporate strategies. As you can see in the chart below, they are growth strategy, stability strategy, and renewal strategy. We'll learn in details about all these three strategies in the next few slides. Let's now learn in details what growth strategy is. So this is the first type of corporate strategy that we are going to learn about. As it is said, whenever the company wants to expand the business by introducing new products or services, this particular strategy is adopted. Now, this means the company wants to expand the business by introducing new products or services through the existing business or by creating a new business altogether. The company can increase the range or number of its products that are already in the market. Now, when you're considering this particular type of strategy, the company can pursue the following list. As you can see, increase the sales of the existing product, increase the range or the number of products already in the market, improve the offered services to serve more customers, increase the size of the geographical area covered by services, take over or buy a competitor. Now, altogether, this was all about the growth strategy. The chart here illustrates this concept much more clearly to you all. We'll move on to the next strategy. The next one is stability strategy. Here is a chart and the notes is here given below. Let me just explain to you the concept of stability strategy. So, a stability strategy, first of all, is characterized by an absence of significant change in what the organization is currently doing. There are various conditions when this particular strategy is adopted. It is usually adopted when the organization plans to consolidate its position in the market, or maybe when the economy is in recession and companies want to have more cash balance rather than investments in expansion, or when the company has debt to settle and avoid the liquidity crunch. Or maybe when there is no further scope of growth and the company has reached a maturity phase and the gains from expansion plans are less than the cost of expansion. So these are the conditions. Basically, the motto of stability strategy is no change, profit strategy, pause or proceed with caution. The next type of corporate strategy is termed as renewal strategy. As the first point says, when a corporate strategy is designed to address the declining performance, then this type of strategy is called renewal strategy. So, this strategy helps an organization stabilize operations, revitalize organizational resources and capabilities, and prepare to compete once again. So, for example, if a sales company products is on a consistent decline or the company has unexpected cost increase for raw material and labor, the corporate will create a renewal strategy to alleviate these problems, that is to get rid of these problems. Now let's see what is being said in the second point. That is, a company does not necessarily have to be bankrupt to adopt renewal strategy. It can be adopted even when the ventures start becoming less profitable. I'll give you an example to explain this. That is, for example, a manufacturer may decide that it is cheaper to import goods made in other country and supply it to the wholesalers rather than manufacturing them. Sometimes renewal may just be about redesigning the product or packaging, so targeting a different audience or changing the channels of sales and marketing. This applies to the second point. The next type of organizational strategy that we are about to discuss is termed as business strategy. The business strategy refers to actions and approaches to be followed in a particular line of business. Now, the business strategies are crafted by the management and can be successful in improving the performances and probabilities of success for an organization. So, it can also be called as the master plan that the management of a company implements to secure a competitive position in the market, carry on its operations, please customers, and achieve desired ends of the business. Further moving, different strategies can be adopted for different business units. On the basis of various tactics, business strategies can be classified into again three types. As you can see in the chart, the first one is termed as cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, and lastly, the third one is the focus strategy. We'll also learn about these in details in the next few slides. The first business strategy that we are about to discuss is cost leadership strategy. Now, cost leadership is leading the market by the cost of the product. This can further be explained by the example of the Reliance Industries that are venturing into the telecom sector. The competitive prices by the company won the customers, and today Reliance Communications, as we know, owns a major chunk of the telecom market. So the firm which aims to sell the products at reduced cost will have to explore all the ideas of cost advantage and use in its favor. It can perform above an average performer in the industry if it can achieve and most essentially sustain cost leadership. As you can follow the slides, it has been said that cost leadership strategy, it needs few considerations, careful considerations, and the product should be profitable, made profitable even after the reduction of the cost. The quality should also be maintained so that it attracts customers and encourages them to buy the product. And the factors which acquired can be reducing the cost production, using upgraded technology, easing the accessibility of raw materials and other resources. The next is termed as differentiation strategy. Now, it refers to the strategy that has been adopted by firm to be unique and different in its industry. So, what happens here? The firm tries to woo the customers by trying to meet their needs by providing them different products. Now, the firm selects one or features of the product that are perceived to be important by the customers. These features then are taken up and worked upon, innovated, improved to offer the customers the best versions of the product. Now, innovation and creativity. This positions the firm very unique and makes it ahead of others. The firm is actually awarded for its uniqueness with best price. For example, if we take example of Ola, Uber, Meru, Oyo, they have changed the way people used to look at taxis, bike services or hotel services, and they are actually doing business in a very different way, which is very different from the traditional ones. So the differentiation strategy, they have a broad or a mass market. This strategy they have included in them. They have less as well as attractive prices, and they have at the same time unique product that makes them different from others. If you follow the slides, the benefits of the differentiation strategy is also outlined. There is a reduced price competition. There are, of course, better profit margins, as well as you achieve consumer brand loyalty. So, yes, that was all about differentiation strategy. The example of it all is also given here. Next, we come to focus strategy. Now, focus firms may choose this strategy to identify and target niche markets. So, focus strategy is used for it. Now, niche markets are the smaller markets but can be very profitable for the firms that choose to serve them. The focus strategy is about focusing on target market or the customer group. The firm caters to the needs of the smaller groups of customers. So these firms actually operates in two ways, that is low cost focus strategy and best value focus strategy. Now what happens in low cost focus strategy is that offering products, we here offer products to a small group of customers at lowest price possible. And in the best value focus strategy, we offer products to a small group of customers at the best price value. This is also called focus differentiation. Okay. So, yes, the focus strategy is mainly adopted by multinational companies to capture the local market by, catering to the needs of the locals. For example, if we take the example, the garment industry has to focus on the needs of the khadi wearing population in order to sell it. But it may not be a major chunk of the garment industry, but it is profitable for those who are into the business. So that's where you are focusing. The last type of organizational strategy that we are going to discuss is termed as functional strategy. Functional strategy is the day to day strategy that is prepared for various functional areas of the company's organizational structure. So, this helps to keep the organization moving in the right direction. Now, functional strategies can be a part of the overall corporate strategy and serve as a separate one for a specific functional area. When the functional strategies are finalized, the higher goals are to be kept in mind so that everything is well coordinated and working towards them, the same goal is achieved very smoothly. Now, it's if we are to define functional strategy in a nutshell, we can say it's the day-to-day actions needed to deliver corporate and business strategies, and also the relationships needed between business units, departments, and teams. So, yes, it is the bottom level strategy that ensures coordination among various departments to work towards a common goal. There are various types of functional strategies, including marketing, research, R&D strategy, research and development strategy. We have financial, information management, we have HRM, and others. HRM strategy also is there, human resource management. So let us just discuss briefly about all these functional strategies. Let's take up marketing strategy at first. So this is adapted to decide the pricing, selling, and the distribution of product and services. What happens here? The products and services should reach the right customer at the right time and price. And also, the company must ensure if it is using the right channel to market the products and services. For example, I can give you an example. When the customer wants to buy things online, the traditional corporate houses have to upgrade the technology with them and market the goods online too. Next is financial strategy. So this involves management of finances, income, expenditure, and liabilities in the organization. This selects the main source of funding, which may either be the development of the organization's own funds by depreciation, profit, or issues of shares, or through debt, financing from bank loans, credits, etc. The third one is HRM strategy, that is the human resource strategy. This is a strategy that directs how to work with the staff. It is a way of training administrative and other staff in the organization. It also involves career planning of the employees. So the management of human resource and their placement in various departments are determined by the HRM strategy. Next is production strategy. So this we should discuss briefly. That's not very important. So they are broad long-term action plans. Let's discuss R&D strategy next. So this R&D is research and development strategy. This strategy is concerned with research and development of a new product or updating the existing one. Now it includes product innovation, which is essential for the growth and also the success of the organization. With this, we come to an end of the discussion on the different types of organizational strategies. Hope you have understood well. You will be given questions related to this topic later on. Thank you.